Hello, everybody. Welcome back in. It is Talking Fitchburg. It is the guest segment. And no, I'm not the guest. I'm sorry to disappoint you. But I have an even better guest for you. It is our friends from the Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection. They are here to talk about something that we all have lots of experience with, and that's passwords. And they have some passwords, do's and don'ts for you on how to stay protected. Check it out.
There's some new information that's come to light regarding passwords. And as you may recall, we've talked in the past about how your password needs to be very robust. And typically, if someone gets access to that password, they potentially are going to have access to a lot of different accounts because as humans, we try to simplify things as best we can. And remembering passwords is always a challenge unless we write them down in some super secure place that only we know about. But the fellow who had first come along with the password protocol decades ago has revised his thinking, and that today's usage of a combination of letters and characters and numbers may not in fact be the best way to protect your passwords. And he's shifted his thinking now to include passphrases. This is something that we've been talking about at Consumer Protection for quite a while now. And the concept is really quite simple. The idea is to come up with a memorable phrase that only you know, and then perhaps add some randomness to it along with character or characters and any other numbers. And that will help you to remember and also create a very challenging passphrase for somebody who is trying to hack into your system and gain access to that kind of information. Now, there are certain do's and don'ts, though, that go with that. One is, obviously, you don't want to be using any kind of personally identifiable numbers like your social security number, your birth date, your driver's license number, if you even remember it. But stay away from some of those personal pieces of numerical information. Once you have a nice, strong password, if there's two-factor authentication that you're able to enable, it would be a really good idea to use that because studies have shown that accounts that have two-factor authentication, this is that additional bit of information, security questions, something you know, something you have, maybe you have a token that has a number that continually recycles itself on a random basis that you need to type in for this two-factor authentication. Take advantage of that because, as I mentioned, the studies show that two-factor authentication has greatly reduced the percentage of fraud that occurs. There are some websites that do provide a service where they store all of your passwords. I know some individuals who use that particular technology. I'm not going to recommend one thing or another, but what I will say is make sure you do your research. And I will just add this as a cautionary note. We all know about the breaches that are occurring every day of businesses, of government entities, and all of that. If you have a website that is storing all of your passwords, consider for a moment that this is valuable information and whether or not you want it out there in the cloud or in cyberspace that potentially, outside of your own control, somebody can gain access to. It's whatever you feel comfortable with is something that you're going to need to live with. So if you use a site like that and you're okay with it, that's fine. But if you're not, just make sure you then have them protected somewhere that nobody can gain access to.
So there you go. Some tips from the experts themselves.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go. I have a website recommendation, Andrew.
Okay.
I've told you about it. I recommend everybody goes to this website. It's called haveibeenpwned.com.
Pwned.
So have I been, and then the last word is pwned.com. If you go there, you can enter in any of your email addresses or usernames, and then you click the search button, and the website will look through all at least the known data breaches, and it will tell you, has that email address been compromised in any way, shape, or form. It'll tell you when it happened, where it happened, which is a great thing for you to know, because then you know how to go and change those specific email addresses, passwords, and things. So I recommend everybody.
And after you recommended it to me, I did it, and I found out I was good.
You did find out you were good, yes.
Good.
I've done it.
One email that I had that was old, of old Hotmail that I do not use anymore, was not good.
Yes, so I have the same situation where all my current things was good, but an old Yahoo email address that I had been breached. It's important to know these kinds of things, so give that website a check. I think it's very interesting and very helpful for people to know about that.
Have I been pwned?
HaveIBeenPwned.com.
So it's pwned, it's owned with a P.
Yep, exactly. PWNED. Check it out. Check it out. Otherwise, again, if you do fear that you've been scammed, if you feel like you have anything that you need to report, you can always head over to the Department of Agriculture Trade and Consumer Protection's website, report anything there, and find lots more information. But that is all I have for you here. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back, and, well, it's that time to wrap up the show for the day. So stick with us here on Talking Fitchburg.